Hi guys, George here from Zero Period Productions, and today on Skyrim Saturday Mods we're sitting down to grade some term papers, in the form of Harthstone Isles, the second full mod release from the Arcane University. For anyone unfamiliar, the Arcane University is an endeavor founded by the Beyond Skyrim teams, to create free interactive sets of courses for aspiring mod authors who are looking to learn in a more structured setting. Last year I covered Hestra's Nest, the first full release from the university, which served as a project for the current class to show off what they had learned so far, by creating a small new land and quest mod, with new characters, settlements, and original music. Harthstone Isles just released recently as the second of these projects, with what seems to be a larger scope than the previous mod. Given that these mods are meant as a proof of concept, they're a little bit more lighthearted and less serious, and are not part of the actual Beyond Skyrim stories. Because of this, there are no plans for bug fixes or updates. I myself like getting to play these mods as it gives me a chance to see what the new mod authors of our age are learning, and how they're putting those newfound skills to the test. To get started, simply head to the hot springs near Kinesgrove, where you'll find a couple new characters. Or you can head straight to the Windhelm docks, where you'll find a boat waiting for you. But today, I want to see some men taking a bath.
What's the matter? I had to practically pull you away from the beaches of Shosmakai. Why the hesitation now?
I told you that the temperature of a hot spring is of utmost importance.
It's true.
I wouldn't want to risk scalding. I wonder if that construction project the East Empire Company started up north will wrap up soon.
Oh?
It would be great to soak there.
Weren't we supposed to report back to the... it doesn't matter. That boat is still at the Windhelm docks. We have time.
Let us just wait here in Eastmarch until they finish construction. I wouldn't want to ruin my manicure.
Well, sounds like I know where to go. Wait,
Always make sure to check a bath's temperature before you enter it. You wouldn't want to risk blisters on your beautiful body.
I assumed he was a high elf?
Oh my! Come to soak in the springs of Eastmarch with us?
Oh, I have. I assumed Caramelius was a high elf name and that you would be a high elf wearing robes. I'm sorry that I'm mistaken. I was making some assumptions.
Oh my! Come to soak in the springs of Eastmarch with us?
Yeah, let me just get out of these pants real quick. I feel a little overdressed. What are you doing here?
Well, isn't that obvious? Look around you. Skyrim might be a harsh and unforgiving place, but the hot springs work wonders for your skin. Ah, if only all the Nords in their powerful bodies were as fond of hot springs and baths as they should be.
I like this guy.
You are more than welcome to join us if you'd like.
I like him. You mentioned a construction project?
Oh, that! Yes, the East Empire Company started a small project somewhere in the Sea of Ghosts. I think they finally decided to explore a set of isles they found in the far north a while ago.
Do you know if they still need help?
Oh, they are still recruiting. They even offered me and Vanellianus a spot, but all that work would seriously mess with our dieting plan.
Wait, dieting
And
plan?
besides, we were planning on taking to Argonia soon. I heard they have wonderful mud baths there. If you are interested in joining them, there should be one of their pamphlets in my backpack. It's right next to my armor. You are free to take the pamphlet. The water is so comfortable, I don't feel like standing up and getting it.
Well, can I... Because he had one other line of dialogue. I do want to get to that, asking about the island. Tell me more about these isles.
Well, if you must know, they are called the Harthstone Isles. I know, dear. A terribly unfashionable name.
I like that he calls me dear. I like this.
If you are interested in joining them, there should be one of their pamphlets in my backpack. It's right next to my armor. You are free to take the pamphlet. The water is so comfortable, I don't feel like standing up and
so
getting
it just at least the same dialogue for the most part. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Hi.
Always make sure to check a bath's temperature before you enter it. You wouldn't want to risk blisters on your beautiful body.
Damn, what a great day. I'm getting picked up by two guys enjoying the hot springs. I should come to the hot springs more often. What are you doing here?
Oh, us two. We've just returned from a strenuous hike across the Velothi Mountains. The Dunmer of Morrowind make wonderful ash lotions. Your skin will shine brighter than Secunda on a gorgeous night.
I'm imagining, instead of a salt scrub, an
the
ash
hot
scrub.
springs here in Eastmarch are the best way to relieve some pent-up stress.
Yes. I overheard your conversation about a construction project.
Oh yes, that thing. You've got to know, the Overseer was really not our type. Terribly demanding and clingy, if you ask me.
To turn off.
Tried to recruit Caramelius and me for some project born out of the whims of Lady Galeron.
Who's Lady Galeron?
You've never heard of Lady Galeron? Her beauty products are renowned all across the Empire. The next time you are in a more civilized region of Tamriel, you should definitely pick up a bottle or two of her magical lotion.
Well, when Beyond Skyrim comes out, I will. Can you tell me more about this project? I know that it's likely going to lead right back to a lot of the same dialogue from last time, but I just want to exhaust everything that I can.
About these Hearthstone Isles, Caramelia should know more about that.
Okay.
There are some rumors they will build a grand spa there. Knowing the company, however, passage there will be very expensive.
It's a little thing, and I might just be kind of like making this up or jumping to assumptions, but I wonder if they intentionally chose like slightly harder names for these two as a little bit of a test for the voice actors. Like, oh, can you easily say Venelianus in the dialogue in this conversation during these lines, during these takes without stuttering like I just did with Venelianus and Caramelius, which is one of those things where if you just say it more and more,
Always
you get
make
used
sure
to it,
to check
but
a bath's temperature before you enter it.
I like to think that
You
that
wouldn't want to risk
was
blisters
a
on your
reason for
beautiful
it,
body.
for the names. Pamphlet of Recruitment. To all able-bodied citizens of the Empire and beyond, beyond Skyrim, the East Empire Company, under the behest of the beautiful Lady Morgulda Galeron, seeks to expand the borders of the Empire onto a new horizon. To the far north, there exists an archipelago currently known as the Harthstone Isles. Discovered through the exploits of daring sailors, we are recruiting workers and laborers to establish a place that fully utilizes the geothermal phenomenons unique to these islands. Furthermore, we would like to use this occasion to discredit any rumors spread with ill intent. The Hearthstone Isles were not found by a drunken sailor who got lost in the Sea of Ghosts, and they certainly won't be used as the Honorable Lady Galeron's private wellness resort. Any people who are suspected of spreading such rumors will be sent to the Imperial City Prison. Signed, oh, Lady Galeron. Oh, would you look at that? Something tells me she might be using this as her own personal wellness resort. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Hey, if you got the money, go for it. If I had the money, I would do it too. One thing I like is that in the first mod from the Arcane University team, Hestra's Nest, that I played last year, the mod also starts there. That mod also starts by you coming across a couple travelers who are like, oh, we're thinking of going all the way to Stros Mackay because I hear they have the Miss Redguard pageant or something like that. But they also mention to you, it's like, oh, but we heard about this place in the Reach, Hestra's Nest. And that sends you on your way. If this becomes a little bit of a theme for how they start off or how they kick off the Arcane University projects, I'd like that. I'd like little callbacks and references and things like that. One thing I did note from the mod page is that there are a couple dungeons this time around, because to the best of my recollection, there really weren't a whole lot of interior dungeons made for Hestra's Nest. And I believe one of these even has a dragon claw puzzle, which is nice. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more work done with interior design.
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
Nah, don't worry about it. I do kind of wish there was someone here that's like, oh, are you going to the Hearthstone Isles? But, you know, that's not really the point right now. That's not really the main focus right now. First thing I want to say is I really like the shipwrecks that I see over there. Actually, no, that might be one of the settlements. I see shipwrecks, but I think part of that might also be a settlement. Well, I made it. You there!
Huh. You seem familiar. Did I hire you? Doesn't matter. Welcome to the Isles. We'll make a pioneer out of you yet.
How did you come to find this settlement?
A couple of seafarers sat down with me and had a few too many at the Winking Skeever before they left for Roscridia. When they got back to Solitude, they wouldn't stop jabbering about a steaming rock out in the middle of nowhere. Said they went off course. Naturally, this was all according to my plan.
Of course. So your plan was to get the sailors drunk knowing they'd find a hidden island?
Yes, exactly that.
Damn.
It's pretty rudimentarical as far as plans go.
Guy's a genius.
Give a man a drink and find his true self, they say. A heated island chain in the middle of the Sea of Ghosts? So obvious. I couldn't wait to tell Papa.
Is Papa here? I'd like to meet Papa. And how did you become overseer?
Nobody was more fit for the job. Papa said as much after I told him about the Isles.
Of course.
You're looking at pedigree, you know.
Of course, I can tell right
I've worked
now.
all across Tamriel. Anvil, Solitude, the Imperial City. Not one of those jobs could handle my prodigious potential.
Oh, so they just love you everywhere you go.
Of course, Papa knew only managing a whole island chain would be a challenge for my skills. He sent me here to build a spa for the Emperor himself.
Oh.
To build a new jewel for the Empire.
The Emperor's real dead. It would be interesting if they had maybe used this episode as an opportunity to check for, like, quest stages, quest completions, so you could say to him, it's like, oh, the Emperor's dead, assuming you had done the Dark Brotherhood quest. Granted, since I don't really mod, I don't know how hard that is to do, so maybe they didn't bother to test it because it's not really that complicated. Papa, what did your upbringing look like?
What's there to say? I grew up on the outskirts of Solitude with my mother and uncle. Unremarkable, to be sure. Worked lifting lumber, mostly. But, as Caligus the Fevered once said, a man's hood. Manhood is of his own making. And look at me now.
And look at his manhood now. What about your mother?
A fine humdrum woman. She and I arrived at Uncle's lumber mill after I was born. Can't remember a thing about it.
And tell me about your uncle.
Tough as nails, the old codger. Had some strange fantasies, too.
Uh-oh.
On holiday, he used to tell me about my mother's old life. Said she was a night woman or some such. Whatever that means. At any rate, I, too, love the night. Almost as much as the day.
Wait, didn't you mention your papa before?
Papa and I have always known that life is about more than the bonds you make with loved ones. It's also about scores. And career ambition. Behind every man, there is an even greater mother. You know? Papa always knew just what to say in my time of need to push me toward success.
I want to meet Papa.
When he finally claimed me as his son, well, I was truly roused to greatness.
I love Rexus Lex because he talks like he thinks he's smart. He thinks he's smart. He's acting as though he's just better than everyone when clearly he's kind of an idiot. What are an overseer's duties?
To quote the late great Titus Mede I, a king must be polygamist in the affections of his court. I've done it all, really. Surveyed the land, marked the spots, and hired a serendipitous cohort to do the less important stuff.
Yeah, like he's saying a lot of these words
These
incorrectly
days,
on
I
purpose.
inspire action
and it works.
loyalty in those who serviate under me. Revna does the things I don't have time for.
Seems like she does quite a lot.
She does? I mean, of course she does. Great leadership a great crew makes.
He's like, it reflects well on me.
I hope to inspire that achievementation in all of my workers.
Oh, I want to just say achievementation just randomly now on. Oh, yeah. Anything to help out around here?
Fascinorolas once said, "A man kept to busy work his whole life will have lived none." It's good to focus work on critical tasks only. Speaking of, there should be an empty tent and a barrel for storage around here. Somewhere. Feel free to make it your home.
Damn. Living rustic,
Once you finish acquaintizing with the port, come back to me, and I'm sure I'll have something for you.
Alright. Well, let me just ask him his opinion on Revna first.
Revna? Quite the loyal retinuiere.
I love it made it
possessed of both
French.
brains and brawn, to be sure.
Not retainer, retunier.
Although her assignments are taking a bit longer than they should. Quilon, on the other hand, is a lost cause. Even the great Tiber Septim said that useless men are kept useless. Just imagine, he's scared of catching a cold. And only dumb people catch colds.
Oh, I'm plenty dumb then.
Which means that I'm, obviously, imperfluent to catching a cold.
I'm really liking just how this isn't taking itself really seriously.
Always remember, the silent cat catches no mice.
I don't think people realize how, like, hard it can be to actually write decent humor. And right now, this is doing a pretty good job at it, between, you know, the two men enjoying the hot springs and asking for me to disrobe, and now, our new friend, Rexus Lex, who fancies himself as a bit of a genius, but, you know, we can see through it. We can very, very, very clearly see through it. Okay, so no quests that get marked after we finish that. Can I go in here? Oh, what? I was not expecting that. I don't necessarily know if this is my... Oh, it might be. He said a barrel. He said a tent and a barrel. This is not a tent. Well, it's a tent. I see no barrel, but it's not owned. It's not owned, it's not stealing, so... Okay. Either way, was not expecting the animation. That was a nice surprise. Olag Olos Orchard discovered. Because we're going to want to keep an eye out for new people. Because he said to meet with the people at the port and then go back to him and he'd have something for us. Which I believe there's 4 quests for the mod in total. I can see the barrow from here. We also need to learn how to travel from island to island, because it's the Harthstone Isles, aka more than one. I was kind of hoping there'd be water in there, not gonna lie. Anybody here? Okay, so this isn't stealing either. There's nobody here. Because at first glance, I thought this might have been a shop. But the fact that nothing is marked as stealing makes me wonder if that is my tent. I have a feeling that might be my tent. Because I don't really see any other tents just yet. Oh, these are new. The fish trap. Yeah, I knew that they were, you know, learning modeling, textures, and animations, but like, to find some of the new stuff so quickly, it's nice. So let's head to the settlement there. Let's head over there, and we should hopefully be able to find some people, talk to them, and see what else needs to get done. Hi there.
Hey, you wouldn't have happened to see Never mind. What do you need?
If you're the assistant, does that mean you're the second in command?
Well, obviously. The overseer can't do everything around here, so he's gonna need an assistant as proficient as myself.
How did you become the overseer's assistant?
I was looking for a thief that stole a family heirloom of mine back in the Rift. My search led me to Solitude. From there, a homeless man that was drinking from a weird purple bottle said they went into the Sea of Ghosts. I was about to give up when I saw a job posting about working at these islands. So I applied and got this position, thanks to my countless stories about managing.
Oh, I see. Why would a thief choose to hide here?
It's remote and inhospitable. No normal person would bother going into the open sea in search of their stolen property. But I am not normal, and I am going to find this thief. I know he's around here, somewhere.
I like it. It's like, but I'm not normal. I would assume this comes with a lot of responsibility.
Of course. It's a lot of hard work, and I'm doing my best to make everything go as smoothly as possible. But we have been having issues with the construction of the resort.
Well, tell me more about the construction project.
It could be a lot better. The buildings are taking what seems like forever. We're in constant need of materials, and once we finish the constructions, they aren't stable enough. But when I point this out, I'm told that jumping on top of roofs and charging into walls isn't a good way of testing a building's strength.
How else are you gonna test it? I'm with her on this.
I know what I'm doing. Rexus thinks so. In fact, he has so much faith in me that he's pretty much letting me run things while he sits in his office.
See, that I believe. I do believe her in that. It's weird to hear that the Overseer is this inactive.
Well, I imagine he's doing something important. Like, for example, the other day I saw him whittling in his office.
Whittling? No, you know what? I like her way of testing building strength. You're gonna handle it.
Thank you. It's good to know that someone sees the good work I'm doing.
Do you know if there's any work that needs to be done?
There is so much we have to do. We're having so many problems, it's hard to keep track of them. The only thing that comes to mind right now are the problems we've been having with the mine.
What's wrong with the mine?
It hasn't been producing enough. I haven't gone to the island the mine is on for a while, since that would mean rowing all the way over there. They're probably just being lazy since they don't have someone watching them. I know I would. But if you want to head over there and figure out what's wrong, go ahead. Otherwise, go walk around and see if people need help.
The true adventurer's way, yeah. Is the mine usually just left to its own devices?
If I had the time, I would go over there and see what the issue is. Currently, I don't.
Are there any places like the mine? There seem to be many ruins around.
There's the tomb at the south end of this island, Wrestleret's Rest. I heard some explorers went in there and haven't returned, so I would recommend staying away from it.
Nah, I'm gonna go there.
And there's Fat Gold, another tomb. It's on an island to the east of this one, so we are not concerned about it.
But I thought you wanted to find the thief. How do you know that he's not there at a gulch? That's all I needed to know.
All right. The mine is located on the island to the northwest. Try not to die. Oh, and if you find an empty tent, it's yours.
It is mine! Ah, the big fancy tent with the cool animation!
try not to sneeze or cough near Quillan. He'll start to panic.
Oh. Well, now I just need a mod that lets me sneeze and cough. New friend? Oh, can I sneeze on you? Yeah, I can!
That's close enough. What is it you want?
A little bit of tinniness from the mic, I am noticing. What's making you so nervous?
Nervous? I'm not nervous. Just a little cautious is all. Never know what sort of diseases you might catch traveling in the Divine's forsaken cold. We can't have everyone sneezing or vomiting all over the worksite.
I heard it was sneezing and coughing. Vomiting's a little bit of a jump up from that. So you're afraid of getting sick?
Not afraid necessarily, but you know that most deaths from illness start with a common cold, don't you?
Achoo. Don't you think that's all just a little bit dramatic?
Certainly not. Any illness is very serious. A cold can weaken the body to be attacked by something more deadly. There are even theories from notable scholars like Jivat Sitiari that Periites send tiny Daedric servants to cause all illnesses. A cold is caused by just a few, but once they have a foothold, more can easily find their way in and cause greater problems.
Well, I guess that's possible, I suppose. No, you know what? That makes sense.
Yes, finally someone who sees good sense. I've even found good evidence to back it up. When I was traveling to Solitude on my way here, I heard a group of Periite followers that were infected with a plague. They were living in one of those Dwemer ruins so prevalent in Skyrim, or so I heard. Of course their worship of Daedric Lord kept them alive, but they were more like undead than living. You ought to take your health more seriously. Periite's little Daedra could turn you into a walking corpse if you're not careful.
Okay, so it's not that the mic is tinny, so I retract that statement. It's more so it just sounds like the room that they're recording in, that, like the reverb off of the walls is just giving it like a slight effect. That's what it is. It took me a second to kind of pinpoint it. It's nothing terrible. Is it just me, you know, making notes, just saying like, oh, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you have to treat your room, because, you know, that can get a little pricey. What do you do here?
Rexus hired me to design the bathhouse, so that's what I do. I also study the glorious art of restoration. I'm glad to help with any healing you might need. Unless you've caught a cold, no need to pass that around. Just take a remedy.
Do you have a potion for that, maybe? What if I don't have any remedies?
Well, you better buy some right now. Huzador is a competent enough alchemist, but I also carry the basic essentials if you need them.
You have any hand sanitizer? It seems like the project's going slow. It really seems like we don't have a whole lot of, competent workers here.
Well, don't look at me. My designs are almost finished. It's Revna and her workers that are dragging their feet. I gave Revna the first design over a month ago, and not a single stone has been laid yet. Maybe she spent less time wandering around the island like an idiot, more would get done.
You know, he's not entirely wrong. So she's causing the delay.
Well, Rex is technically in charge, but he's got so much on his plate. Revna is his assistant, and she ought to help him.
Okay, never mind. You lost me again. No, they're
Instead,
both
she
stupid.
clutters up our house, brags if she's one of the Divines herself, and wastes her time exploring the island. Mark my words, she'll come down with the cold wandering around in the snow.
How are the accommodations here?
For living in the wasteland, it is bearable. The headquarters is well furnished. But when I first arrived here, there was nothing. Not even a shack. I lived in a tent, in the cold. I don't care how much the East Empire Company pays. I'm never doing that again.
How much are they paying? I haven't gotten paid yet.
There's one issue now, though.
I just got here.
That thrice-damned quartermaster won't give me my leeks.
Your leeks?
Yes, I need my leeks to make Vincent's stew and vegetable soup. It's far too cold here to be eating anything but a nice warm soup. Leeks are necessary for their natural immunizing powers.
Oh, of course.
You know this if you've studied Mara's art at all.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
I like how I'm not offering to get him the leeks. I'm just like, good luck.
I hail from Skingrad, in Cyrodiil if you don't know. The Tyrians have been loyal Imperials for years. I came here after studying for 12 years at the Synod in Imperial City. I studied restoration seriously and architecture in my free time. I met Rexus leaving the Synod one day, and after a few questions, he'd asked if I'd come on as architect. He told me I'd be building the royal bathhouse on a natural hot spring.
Aha!
I'm an amateur, so I thought this would be a great experience and opportunity.
I knew it.
He didn't tell me it was in the Sea of Ghosts, on an uninhabited island, far from civilization.
How was your time at the Synod?
Oh, it was lovely. Restoration is a beautiful art to study. I learned so much, and the Imperial City is practically heaven on earth. There were many opportunities to practice my art on the unfortunate new students, particularly the destruction students. Poor Richard nearly burned his own leg off. I had to heal him daily for nearly a month before he could walk again. Then there was Shrita, who was electrocuted. She lay unconscious for over a month before she woke.
Well then. Wonderful, I'll come see if I have any injuries.
I'm glad to help with any healing you might need. Unless you've caught a cold, no need to pass that around. Just take a remedy.
Right.
Remember to keep warm. Just Toe don't want anyone catching a cold.
Well, there's Rexus. He's heading back to the settlement. I haven't talked to everyone, but I'm wondering if he has anything to say.
Ah, you again. You're the only one worth circumlocuting with around here. What do you need?
Oh, I like how he's even like, I'm
Good.
making these
Now
words
that
up
that's
now.
sorted. What was I saying?
I like
again?
how even he's just like, oh shit. I don't know what I'm saying. If I just keep on adding syllables onto us, it'll sound smart. If I just keep adding syllables, someone will believe me. We can go into the stockpile. We have... Well, let's go into the stockpile first.